So I just finished watching the 6th episode of Star Wars Skeleton Crew, Zero Friends Again. This is probably one of the most short titles, and I will be talking about spoilers. Now, if you want to stay spoiler free, I did release my spoiler free review earlier today, so go check that out. So, let's actually talk about the episode. So, there's basically two plots. Our character plots have finally diverged. In fact, you could say we have an A, B, and C. Not quite, because while there's a moment where the kids do split up, it doesn't really follow an A-B storyline because they come back together at the end. And honestly, the stuff with Fern and Neel was more to show maybe Fern's hot-headedness, the fact that she just keeps on doing something, and to inform KB's story, her character moment, rather than anything with Fern or Neel. Though definitely Fern got a little bit because KB's story relies on the fact that Fern can get, in some ways set in her ways and not necessarily consider that KB has limitations, has a disability, that can't do everything that Fern can do. And that's something that I think Fern does realize, at the end, especially when she hears that Wim had to basically remake a component for KB cybernetics in order to keep, KB alive. Yeah. KB didn't tell Wim that until afterwards, which probably was a good thing. Knowing Wim, he probably would panic. But this was a really good moment for him as well, because he got to save somebody's life. Yes, one of his friends, but this was really important for KB more than anyone else, because we kind of learned a bit about her. We still don't know what the nature of the accident that she mentioned in this episode, but definitely means that she relies on cybernetic implants to keep her alive. If we go back, maybe not last episode, but at least an episode or two ago, where KB's mother mentioned that concern for her with not getting her maintenance and her meds and that, and we kind of see that she mentioned she was neglecting the maintenance of her cybernetic components, and we can see the effects of that. Last episode, she was really concerned about the steam because of potential corrosion they might have on her implants. And it happened. And it was dire for her. I did wonder how dire was it, but the way she confirmed that once Wim finished the repairs, it was dire. And she also expressed that part of the reason why she doesn't always push back on Fern is because she's afraid of losing her only friend left. And so that establishes that whatever happened with KB's accident, she lost probably all her friends except for Fern, and therefore she holds Fern's friendship in very high regard and does not want to risk it by letting Fern know that she can't do everything. And there's a moment when they all reunite where Fern is apologizing to KB for basically leaving her behind and in the situation that led to this. But KB also apologizes for not telling Fern, for not stating that she can't do it. And while I don't think KB needed to apologize in a moral sense, she needed to do it for a friendship sense, for her own sense. That she needed to apologize to Fern in her own mind for basically not being honest with her friend. And that was important for her. Morally, she didn't need to apologize. But socially, emotionally, she did. She needed it for herself. And Fern didn't need it. She needed it for herself. And that's why that was such an important scene for her. And then they have to rescue the Cinder. So this is actually a really great scene, but I want to save this for the end because it has some really interesting implications on the way the story will go. But let's talk about what's going on with John. So he's captured the pirates and they take him back. They also take SM-33 back as well. Who knows what they're going to do with him, but John is given basically a chance to defend himself before they throw him out the airlock. Obviously the Star Wars pirate equivalent of walking the plank. And basically he convinces the pirates that Aten is real, and everything is gone that, and Brutus gives them one chance to take them to Ad-Aten to prove that the treasure he speaks of is real. If not, out the airlock he goes. So, I just want to mention, I've often compared George to Long John Silver. After all, his pirate captain name was Captain Silver. There's a comparison there for sure. And what I think is going here is another comparison. Is there a perfect one-on-one? No. But especially Muppet Treasure Island, my favorite version of Treasure Island, by the way, there's a scene where basically all the pirates turn on Long John Silver, mutiny against him, and he's able to talk them into basically accepting him as the captain once again. Not quite what John does here, but it's a very similar beat where, in order to survive the fact that he's now shown his weakness. Now granted, the pirates really don't see that he has a weakness, a care deep down for the kids. He doesn't want to admit that, I'm sure. But deep down he does care, but I think living a hard life has hardened him to not show it. But that's not why the pirates are basically putting him on trial. It's because they saw he was a bad captain and he was mutinied against, and now they've captured him after an escape. But there are those similar beats that I think is worth discussing, worth mentioning. Just like Long John Silver, he was mutinied against, and he had a chance to speak his case, and he's able to get himself another chance. Granted, unlike Long John Silver, this is going to put the entire plan of Ad-Aten in jeopardy, but the thing is, there's hope. There's a chance that Ad-Aten will be safe. One, the kids realize that the X-Wings are the good guys, the people that Kim called very interesting as an astrological problem. They realize that, so if they gain contact with New Republic, they'll have New Republic help. But the more important thing is, when they regained the Arc Cinder, first they had to get aboard it when it was being sent to the scrapyard by the planned authorities. But they also, I should real quick mention that before all that, they witnessed the X-Wings chase the pirates away, so that confirmed. And there's actually a moment where Wim realizes he has such terrible luck and figure out who the good and bad guys are, because he follows a bunch of scavenger droids and takes him and KB to a monster who wants to eat them. Very neat puppetry, as I believe some of the behind the scenes shown there, but that's just a fun little bit that gave some stakes to basically the characters getting back together. But on the Arc Cinder, they have another tense moment. They got to cold start the ship and get it going as basically a giant walking trash compactor comes at them. And so they'll resort to doing the emergency explosive hull detonation sequence that SM-33 told them never to touch under any circumstances. This is a perfect example of Chekhov's gun. It was shown us earlier, now it's coming into play in the story. The perfect example. Of course, it's not Chekhov from Star Trek, but that's besides the point. I had to throw that in there. So, they do that, and that allows them to escape, but now the Arc Cinder is different. It's representing hope now, I would say. It has, instead of a jagged hole, it's now a much sleek hole. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Stinger Mantis, actually, from the Star Wars Jedi games. Loosely in terms of how the hull is smooth and all that. But I see this as almost a rebirth, because the way the Arc Cinder left its old hull is not too dissimilar to a butterfly leaving its cocoon, a metamorphosis. I think that's very intentional on the part of the writers, and is a way of showing rather than telling us that things have changed. And butterflies can be used as a symbol of hope, a symbol of change. The kids, their ship is now different. They have basically a brand new ship, a brand new looking ship. Are they still going to call it the Arc Cinder? I don't know. But that's not the point. The point is this representation of a change, of a brighter future, a metamorphosis. The caterpillar is no longer a caterpillar, it's now a butterfly. And that's what's so interesting about this scene here, is that it's a visual showing of that. Yes, I've mentioned that several times already, but I really do want to stress that, because this visual representation is the showrunners, the writers telling us we have a new phase, a new chapter in the story. The kids Well, because of KB's memory, they know where the home planet are, so they can go home and warn their planet about the pirates. They can contact the New Republic. The New Republic to help at acting against the pirates. There's a bunch of options available to them now. The kids also have a better sense that John's not to be trusted. I do still suspect that in the end he'll come around and help the kids. I do think in deep down he knows what's the right thing to do, but he's not ready to admit that part himself yet. Very old school style storytelling where everyone's a good or bad guy, but some people are, no, they were bad, but they're on the way to being good. No, a scoundrel with a heart of gold like Han Solo type deal. Or sometimes, good on the way to bad. Those will make good themes for the show based off of previous Star Wars storytelling and some of the influences Skeleton Crew took from. But ultimately, this is a change in the story. I expect the next episodes to have a different feel. Our main characters are going to be separated. Yes, the kids are still together, but Jod is no longer with them. They no longer trust Jod. If he contacts them and tells them that the pirates are coming after Aten and he'll help them stop, I don't know if they will believe him or not. Will they trust him? This is interesting because that change in the Oxender is representing a change in the show, but we don't know how that change is going to unfold yet. But I'm really excited with that metaphor. I really can't wait to see how things are different. But the fact that I identify this parallel to caterpillars becoming butterflies through a cocoon, just like the Oxender is now different than metamorphosis, I do think there is hope going forward. And that's ultimately why I think that the change of the Oxender is supposed to represent the whole sequence there. Of course, those are just my thoughts. You guys got your thoughts as well, so I would love to hear them in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.